AC 24/7, I'm Aaron Dean. The University of California at Berkeley wants a discrimination lawsuit thrown out. In November, the Jewish Americans for Fairness in Education sued the college, claiming that it had turned into a hotbed of anti-Semitism. According to the lawsuit, they say that Berkeley failed to protect its Jewish population, noting some students received hate emails, while others are afraid to go to class. A court date has been set for March 28th to hear the complaint to dismiss. A trial date has been set in a blockbuster antitrust lawsuit against Google. According to court documents, the trial between the Department of Justice and the tech giant will start on September 9th. This case targets Google's economic dominance in online advertising over the past few years. This is the first antitrust case against a major tech company during the Biden administration. The DOJ is joined by some states that allege unfair competition by Google over its technology and online search rivals. Google says the government's case is a, quote, flawed argument that would slow innovation. Medicare has started its first ever negotiations with drug makers over the cost of 10 expensive medications. Drug companies have argued the negotiations could chill their research and development, leading to fewer new medications coming to market. The negotiations come as Senator Bernie Sanders is once again taking the pharmaceutical industry to task. Sanders issued a report highlighting the cost of 3 blockbuster drugs that are far pricier in the US than other countries. Amid devastating flooding across California, we're seeing first responders jump into action to battle the weather and save lives. The Advocate Channel's Patrick Cornell highlights heroes helping people to safety.
This stunning video shows Jenny Magruder being saved after spending 15 hours on top of her truck in the middle of a flooded creek in Livermore, California. Back in January, Magruder was driving in the dark and wound up in the water. Quickly, the truck flipped and Magruder found herself upside down.
I pushed the door open a little bit, but I could only get it open a little bit. So I got some air, and then I had to wiggle my way out. It took about an hour to get out of the truck.
Magruder fought the current to climb onto the vehicle, and that's where she waited for hours and hours before the California Highway Patrol swooped in to pick her up.
I decided I wasn't going to die in the creek. No way.
Next, an intense rescue from the raging Los Angeles River. A man rushed into the river to save his dog who had gone into the water. The fire department says the dog swam to safety, but the man couldn't get out. Air Ops got the call and came quickly, expertly hovering over the swift current while lowering a rescuer into the river and saving the man from the rapids. Don't worry, the dog and its owner are okay. The pair will be reunited after the owner is treated for minor injuries. Okay, how about a hero who found her calling a little later in life? 75-year-old Mary Jarsky is the newest volunteer firefighter in Butte County, California. The retired nurse thought it would be a great way to give back to her community. Mary may be the oldest volunteer firefighter in program history, but she's ready to rock.
I keep thinking, man, if I'd started when I was 30, I'd be so, just excuse the expression, bad. I mean, I'm still pretty bad at 75, but really, I wish I'd done it sooner.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
The iconic image of the big yellow school bus is a classic piece of America that may be on its way out. The Washington Post reports that for the first time in history, most students in the U.S. travel to school in a private vehicle, replacing the bus with the pickup line. According to the Federal Highway Administration, 53% of students in this country were either driven or drove themselves to school in a private vehicle in 2022. One expert suggests the pandemic motivated parents to drive kids to school just to get them back in class. The health threat also promoted some bus drivers to refuse to work. Others are using their commercial driver's license for better paying driving jobs. Download the Advocate Channel app in your phone or smart TV. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates, and subscribe on YouTube. There's more Advocate Channel entertainment and news coming up after the break. I'm Aaron Dean.